Hey guys, 8-Bit Squid here and welcome to another Unity Playmaker tutorial. In today's tutorial, we are going to be creating a platform system which lets our character jump through the platform when he's below it, but when he's actually on top, it's solid. And then when the player crouches, there's an option for the player to drop through the platform. Okay, so this is what I've got at the moment. Very basic scene. This here represents my character. It's keeping it basic because obviously I don't know what your games look like. Hopefully following this you'll get a rough idea of what to do. I've got a crouching one here. Let me change the color so you can see the difference there. Otherwise it's just the same but smaller. And yeah, so that is the character there. Get that a bit better. Rigid body on the character for movement, and a jumping FSM, which is just this one. Press space to jump, set the velocity to jump up, check for ground. I'll put a card in the top for you to follow the jumping tutorial. And the movement is just essentially my multi-directional movement, or just player movement. All the player does is move left and right on this one. Doesn't move up or down because it's a 2D kind of platformer or Metroidvania style. But I will leave links in the cards for all the stuff what you may need for this one. If we hit play, we can see here, player will jump. On top it's solid. Obviously I can't crouch at the moment. And then here, the moment the platform is stopping him from passing through. Okay. So let's get on with it. So we'll start with a platform because this is going to be the easier one. So this platform here, just a 2D square sprite made into a rectangle, made brown. It's got a box collider, but it's not filling the whole shape. It's just the top part here, because our player is going to walk through here, and we want the player to be able to pass through it and not get stuck here. So we're going to go to the Playmaker, and we're going to add 2 states. And we'll start finish on both of these and link them together. Okay, so we can say disable collider. Disable collider on head touch. And we can say enable collider on foot touch. Okay, and then we're just going to add a few things to this one. Okay, so to the first one here, we are going to add I believe it's going to need a trigger enter 2D. We'll see, we could need a collision enter, but I think we won't. And then we also want an a action called set collider 2D is trigger. So set collider 2D is trigger. We're going to keep that as use owner, and then is trigger unticked or unchecked. We're going to send this to finished. Now we're going to need to create 2 new tags. So we're going to go to add tag, and we're going to add one called head and one called foot. And then on our platform, collide tag head, it's going to go to here. Okay, and what we want here is on trigger 2D stay. Then in here, we're going to want to have the same, a set collider 2D is trigger, and we're going to tick the box there. And then another trigger 2D event after our set collider 2D is trigger. Okay, and this is going to be on this one, trigger enter 2D, collide tag but, send event finished. Now, to check it's working, we're going to need to create a new state, not a new state, sorry, a empty game object. We'll call one head, and we're going to add a box collider 2D. And we want this to be on our player head. So I'm going to put this down. I'm going to match it up to the player's position. Then we're going to edit collider. We don't want the whole thing. We just want a small section just like that. And we're going to make sure we tag head as head. What we can then do is duplicate that, call it foot, and change the tag to foot. And then we just need to change the position of the collider to be on the foot of the player. And in fact, we can, I think, let's have it about there. And both of these want to be triggers. So we're going to tick is trigger. Okay, so when hopefully, when we add these to our standing one here, we can give it a test and see if it's going to work. Okay. See? There we go. So, didn't work. There we go. As you can see, we can jump through. So it's not being the best. So let's just try setting that to enter. Let's see if that makes it any better. But when it enters, we can pass through. Okay, that looks better there. Okay, that's a lot better with an enter on it. You can see there, we can now jump through the platform. Okay, perfect. Now we just need to get it so when we crouch, our player will pass through. So I'm going to go to my player holder here, and I'm going to create a new FSM and call this crouch. And for this one, we're going to want 3 states in total, so we'll add another 2. And because we're not branching off, we can just use finished on all of these. Not branching off into like a tree of states. And we're just going to link them into a circle to loop around. Okay, so state 1, we're going to say press crouch. Okay, press crouch. Then we're going to set this to crouching. And then the last state we'll call stand. Okay, so on press crouch, we are going to do the get key down. Now, my jump is space. So I'm going to have, say, the down arrow to crouch. So I'm going to choose my down arrow here. Send event finished. So when I press down, it's going to go to our crouching one here. Okay. And next, we need to change the speed of the player. Okay, so we're going to want to change our player speed. So if you followed my movement tutorial, yeah, you'll have on the axis a speed multiplier, which will affect how fast the player moves. Obviously, when we're standing, we want to be moving normal speed, but when we're crouching, we're going to be moving slower. So we are going to, on here, we're going to add a set float value. Okay, and then we're going to add 2 activate game objects. We're going to set a bool value and then get key up. So we're going to collapse all these. We want them to have an order. So set float value is going to be number 1. Then our activate game objects will be 2 and 3. Set bool is 4. And the last one is get key up. So float variable, choose one whatever it is for your player speed. My default speed is 5. So we're going to go to 3. Okay. And we don't need to take every frame, only while it's happening. Then for activate game object, specify game object and put crouch. And then activate game owner, we're going to untick the box, specify game object and put our standing on there. If I don't mess up with that. Okay, so on our crouch here, I just have a box collider for the same shape as the object. And they're both tagged as player. Okay. Set bool value, we're going to create a new one here. Called crouch. I've already got it. Okay. And we're going to set that to true. And then we want to get key up. Now we want to get down arrow. And that's going to go to finished. And that's going to go to our stand. And what to do is we want to copy all but get key up. So we can Control C on them. And then paste them into here. We can then change our set float value for speed back to 5. And then activate crouch is going to become deactivate. So we're going to swap around, make sure the opposite. Here, standing true, bool value false. And then we're going to add a next frame event. And then finished. Okay, so let's hit play and make sure that our crouch is working as it should. Okay, so we can move, press down, and we crouch, stand up like that. Okay. And we can still jump when crouched. Okay, excellent. Okie dokie. So now we just need to get it so when our player is on top, we press down, the player is going to drop through. So let's work on that one now. Okay, so to get the option working, we want it to only happen when we are crouching. So we're going to put the FSM on our crouch. Now we're going to add 3 states to this one. Okay, and let's just call this passable state. And we're going to add a finish transition to all of these. Link them all together. Okay, first one we'll say, so for this one, let's say I'm going to press return or enter. Press drop down button. And we're going to then change the tag. And then set tag to player. So basically all we're going to do is when the player is crouching and we press, in my case, return, the crouch tag for player is going to become head, which will then make this become non-solid. Our player will drop through and it will all be working. So get action, get key down. So for this one, I'm just going to say return. So it's going to be my main enter key, not on a numpad. And do to finished. Then we're going to set tag in change tag. And then do a wait. So set tag wants to be first. Use owner, yeah. Specify the tag. We're going to change that to be head. And then let's say 0.5. So half a second, finish real time. Then in the last one, we just want to do set tag. Specify it to be player again. Set tag use owner player. And then next frame event. And obviously next frame event goes last. Finished. So that should all now be working. So let's give it a test out. So we're going to pay attention here. So on crouch, so if we press down and then press enter, it becomes head. So perfect. So let's jump up. We crouch down, press enter. Actually, we forgot. We need to make sure that the foot is the crouch. That is that. Okay. So let's check our platform. Oh, yeah, that's why we need to add to the platform. Sorry, yeah. We need to add a collision to the event. I got a bit lost there. Okay, and this is what is going to help us pass through. So we're going to want a collision 2D stay. And it's going to be collide tag head, send event finished. Okay, there we go. I forgot why I had that on my example one. A moment. Okay, so we're going to jump up, go on it, there, press enter, we drop through, and it's solid. And that is it. That is how you can make it so you can crouch and pass through platforms for your player. So, thank you very much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and also click the subscribe button. It'd be very much appreciated. Hit the like button as well if I didn't say that. I can't remember. And that is it. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, 8-Bit Squid out.